How was your journey like?
So it's been 30 years since I started working and I'm 52 today. While I was doing very niche kind of work, but then there's something in your heart which says, "No, this is not what you really enjoy." So by the time I quit in India, I was earning around 3.5, 4 lakhs a month. Everything started with fixed deposits. I would say only 0.01% people actually realize what magic it is. So this guy is doing nothing. He's earning 70,000 rupees. I am slogging the entire year. I'm earning 60,000. What is this?
Growth in your passive income.
Today it would be more than a month. It just doesn't leave you. Strange thing about money.
Hi guys, this is Devanshu here and this is Per Annum Money podcast. Over the last 5-6 podcasts on FIRE theme, what we have realized is that these stories are made out of good planning, good investments, planning the returns, and they knew a lot about how big their corpus would be. How much do they need for retiring early basically. Now, why this could happen is because of the fact that a lot of information was present around these things. But what if we brought you some story which was from way back in 2012, 2015, when all this information was not that available. So today we have Manoj sir with us. So welcome sir on the Per Annum Money podcast.
Thank you.
It is so good to have you here. The first thing that I would want to understand from you is, how was your journey like? When did you start? What was your corporate journey like, and how did it go through?
So I'll just give a quick background of my corporate life first. So I think when I completed my engineering in 1994, and then through campus I was selected to L&T. I moved to Bombay. Couple of years I was in L&T Mumbai. Then I moved to Baroda for 2 years, and then to Delhi. So that was into electrical. I was basically an electrical engineer, so it was basically into electrical stream. Then I moved to IT. The 1999 thing. The .com stuff was really on the boom. We were all ready to go to US, with just learning Java and going to US. That was the craze that time. I mean, I switched from electrical to IT that time. I struggled a bit with changing industry, especially in that .com burst period, 99, 2000. And after that, I worked for smaller IT companies initially, and then I moved to TCS and then to IBM. So my last job was with IBM, where I worked for around 10 years before I quit.
Nice.
So overall, it's a 20-year career. And it's been 10 years I've quit this. So it's been 30 years since I started working. And I'm 52 today. And the last 10 years have been those are the financially free years. I won't call it retired because I work very actively even today, but I work on the areas which I love to work on.
और सर जब आप मतलब आपकी जॉब चल रही थी, so how was your career progression and how was your salary progression like?
Jobs were stressful, but I think I did fairly well in my job. So the last job, I mean, when I quit working, I was a project executive at IBM, where I was, handling a team of more than 500 people across locations in US and India. I was in US also for a few years through IBM only. While I was doing, so to say, a very niche kind of work, earning very well, then, there's something in your heart which says, "No, this is not what you really enjoy." Whether it's your passion or not, you come to know, if I ask you a question, okay, will you keep doing it if you're not paid for it? That's the key question which I ask everyone. Okay, a lot of people tell me that, okay, I'm passionate about my job. Okay, so we'll stop paying you. You pursue your passion. Or that is when they say, no, that is what we can't do. I mean, so you have to really judge. But if you ask me whether I can plant trees without being paid for it, yes, I can. So that's my passion. Nice. Whether I can write books even if I don't earn a royalty for it, yes, I can do that. That's my passion.
आपका salary कहाँ से start हुआ? And how did it go through? When you started your career, what was your salary like? And at the end of your career, what was your salary like?
So in 1994, when I passed out from my college and went to L&T, that 5,100 rupees, that was my first salary. And L&T was paying very well that time. So, I mean, we're talking about 30 years back, right? So we can't compare it with today's salary. 30 years is a big period. So there's a time value of money there. But 5,000 rupees was a fairly decent salary. And I used to save around 3,000 rupees from that.
Nice. That's a 60% savings.
Yeah. So I think that's where I started, and it was pretty good salary. And then, I mean, I was progressing through L&T for the next 5 years, and then after that into IT. You know, IT at that time was really crazy salary jumps if you're good in IT. So by the time I quit, took freedom, I was in India. I was earning around 3.5-4 lakhs a month, which is around 45 lakhs per annum. So that is where I ended, but I was very happy it ended there, because end of the day, you want to be happy, you know. Of course, you got to be sure that your family is secure and you are financially secure, but end of the day, you're not. I mean, if you're endlessly chasing money, I don't think personally that you're leading a very fulfilling life, so to say.
And when you say enough for your family,
How
तो
do you
कुछ
define?
कैसे डिफाइन किया आपने? बहुत ही
So
क्यूरियोसिटी है
yeah,
मेरे को
I mean,
उसके
it
around.
all starts with, for everyone, I think, who wants to be, who is serious about it, it all starts with an Excel sheet with your income, expenses, your current assets, liabilities, returns, your future budgets, your risk profile, your investments, everything. So everything is all in there. So we do it as a part of one of our programs we run. I mean, if anybody is interested into financial freedom, we even coach them and guide them to the website so that they can track their journey. So I've gone through a lot of learnings, mistakes, and learned from others as well, and incorporated all that. So today it's a pretty scientific way of calculating how much you need for your freedom. But you know, when I started, there was nothing like that. So I just started. I didn't know how much I will need, but over time we figured it out.
When you started quitting, तो आपका corpus कैसे divided था? How much was of?
So when I started my journey, everything started with fixed deposits.
Oh.
When I started my freedom journey, I started accumulating wealth, because I didn't know anything else. I am not a finance guy, you know. I don't know what else to invest into. I mean, of course, I knew that you could invest into stocks and mutual funds, but then I don't know how to do that. So I started with fixed deposit. That's the easiest way, and a PPF account. That's what I had seen. That's what I was taught with by my parents. You know, compounding. I'll just take a minute here. So compounding, we say it's a magical thing, but you know, half of the entire world knows compounding is magical, but I would say only 0.01% people actually realize what magic it is. So that moment you realize that, then, I mean, it's totally different the way you look at money. And that realization came to me. I'll give you that example, that I was looking at the PPF passbook of my elder brother. My dad had given me, you're going to the bank, so go and get it updated. So we had to manually get the passbooks updated that time. So I looked at it. I was in L&T that time. I just started my job. So I looked at it, and it had an annual interest credit of 70,000 rupees. I mean, today you may feel it's a small amount. Yes. My salary was 5,000 rupees a month.
Oh.
So 60,000 annual. So I'm just wondering, this guy, my elder brother. So this guy is doing nothing. He's earning 70,000 rupees. I am slogging the entire year. I'm earning 60,000. What is this? So that was a trigger moment. I realized was, if you have enough money, you compounding can play magic on it, and you can probably be quitting your job also. I mean, of course, financial freedom concept was not there in my mind at that stage, but then I realized the power of compounding at that point of time in my life. And formula everybody knows, but that moment it hits you here, then it's very different.
So I guess 70% to fixed deposit ही होगा आपका.
Initially, as I said, was 100%. But slowly, of course, I started into mutual funds, debt and equity both. So I think by the time I became financially free 10 years back, that time my corpus was around 2.5-3 CR in 10 years back. And I would say 50% was kind of debt based and 50% was equity based primarily. Nice. Which was direct stocks plus mutual funds, equity, etc.
And nothing in real estate and gold?
No, real estate was just one house where we wanted to stay. That's it. I mean, there was gold, but not really any significant investment in gold that time. But again, learning is a continuous process, you know. So over the last 10 years, a lot of things have again changed in my portfolio. So I've understood a lot more asset classes, be it cryptos, commodities. So slightly, it's the ratios are not the same now, so it's moving along. It's a lifelong process of learning and adjusting your portfolio to the new learnings.
When you quit your job in 2015, उसके बाद आपने अपना एक passive income project शुरू किए. So how was that journey like?
So my intent was again not to specifically to, okay, I want to now create passive income streams or anything, because I was financially free, so I didn't need a lot of money. But then what happens when you're chasing your passion is the money starts chasing you. You're not running after it. You don't want it. I mean, it's okay if it comes, I don't mind it. It's a bonus which you can spend wherever you want. But then when you're not interested in it, somehow it starts getting interested in you. And so before Freedom, I had written one book, which was Rat Race to Financial Freedom. And after Freedom, I've written 6 books now. So total 7. 3 of this is the 4th one on finance. So they have all been national bestsellers. The 3 of them. This 4th is just launched. So I think content writing is one area. Today, I mean, you know what? I mean, it's a massive area where you can. I'll tell you a very recent example. I started actively on Twitter about 1.5 years back. I mean, I joined Twitter 10 years back, probably. I don't remember, but actively 1.5 years back. And again, I just used to write what I felt. I mean, irrespective of who says what. In Twitter, people keep saying a lot of things. And somehow, so I don't have a lot of followers, maybe around 20K roughly. But the point is that Twitter started paying me because you have followers, your tweets are going viral, so they started paying me. I didn't intend that, so I didn't plan for all those things.
Oh, nice.
So these are streams which, even if you don't plan for it, but if you're pursuing something which you really like, streams get generated automatically. You don't plan for these things. I mean, that's what I basically want to say.
Understood. People also wanted to understand about was a little bit of growth in your passive income post your freedom journey.
Post freedom, everything is passive only.
So how did that grow, and by what percentage it has grown, basically? Just a broad idea.
When I started, I mean, when I just took freedom, I mean, that time I would say my passive income before quitting my job was probably slightly more than my active income. And then probably from that was around 3 lakhs a month roughly that time. But today it would be more than 10 lakhs a month.
Understood.
Yeah, all passive because there's no active income right now.
Nice.
Which is, again, it's I mean, if you, as I said earlier, if you're not after money, it just doesn't leave you. Strange thing about money.
And what are some common mistakes that you have seen happening in these kind of stories?
Well, I think people lose interest midway because they don't have a strong reason. I think that's very common. So we run a program called as an elite program where we coach people on financial freedom. So I'd say most of the people who quit out of the program, very few do that, but then whoever quits out, most of them quit because they get bored.
Bored out
of you got to do the same stuff for 5 years. I mean, you got to save 50,000 rupees every month. You got to invest 30,000 here, 10,000 here, 10,000 here. Keep next month again. You are asking me to do the same thing again. 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, 10 months, 5 years, 10 years. I can't do that. There are family pressures. There are pressures, peer pressures. There's herd mentality. There's so much playing on around you. You know, so if you can't resist yourself from all this, it's difficult. It's not complex though. If you can just keep doing that again and again for next 10 years, you are financially free. So that's why I say everybody can be financially free, but very few actually reach there because that discipline is not there, and discipline is not there because the reason is not strong enough. Freedom is a milestone, but it's not that you have reached that corpus. Now you relax. Now you spend whatever you want. Financial freedom is not unlimited money. Financial freedom is enough to take care of your needs. It's based on certain assumptions. The assumptions could be, okay, I'll get at least 8% returns from my portfolio. I'll not spill out. I have expenses of, let's say, 1 lakh a month. So they'll go up with inflation by 7-8% every year. I can't just start spending 3 lakhs a month after freedom,
Hmm.
you know. So you got to still be having some level of discipline even after
Hmm.
freedom. So it doesn't matter even if you are close to 50s or 60s. You got to make sure that your portfolio is structured in a way that it's giving you enough cash flow, it has enough liquidity, and is generating
Hmm.
enough returns.
Understood.
One mistake which I just want to point out here, a lot of people do is they just focus on returns.
Hmm.
They forget that returns are not the only criteria why investments are done.
Hmm.
Investments are also done for liquidity, for cash
Hmm.
flow, for safety,
Hmm.
okay, other than returns. So a portfolio which is just focused on returns and has become illiquid
Hmm.
is going to ultimately be beaten by a portfolio which is focused on returns plus liquidity,
Hmm.
because liquidity yields higher returns.
Nice.
So
Hmm.
let's say there's a black swan event, markets are down 20%. I want to now put more money into markets because it's available cheaper.
Hmm.
If I don't have liquidity in my portfolio, what will I do? I mean, yeah, everything is real estate. Then what do I do? I mean, whatever it is, it is.
तो बेसिकली कि पोर्टफोलियो के और भी बहुत सारे पार्ट्स हैं
Oh
जो कि
yes, I
बिल्कुल
mean, I
हमें
wrote a
देखने
book
चाहिए.
called as
Hmm.
FOOPs, which is
Hmm.
Financial Oops Movements. So there are 30
अच्छा.
common mistakes which people do
Nice.
while building a portfolio. When you say, let's say, buy low, sell high in
Hmm.
markets, that's a mantra of markets. But how do you do that?
Hmm.
So what is the technique to do that? How do you know it's a low or a high? You know,
Yeah.
so you can only know that not by looking at markets, but by looking at your portfolio balance.
Hmm.
So if your balance is derived based on a strategy, so let's say your balance is 40% equity, 60%, let's say it's 60% non-equity. So when your portfolio goes out of balance and markets have really risen up sharp, your 40% will automatically needle will move to 50 because it's rising very sharp. So that's the time you got to rebalance it, bring it down. Okay, so that's when you sell high. You know, similarly, when the markets fall, and if it falls below a certain range, you got to bring it back to balance. What do? You buy more.
Understood.
So, you know, this buying, so buying low, selling high, this happens automatically when you have a balanced portfolio and you're monitoring it.
Start thinking of planting trees.
I mean, generally, I've been inclined towards nature since I would say childhood. I mean, so I used to have, when I was a small child also, I used to have pots at home and, you know, used to do gardening stuff. But tree plantation seriously started only after financial freedom.
Okay.
Although I had thought about it before freedom that I'm going to do this, but formally we created an organization called as Kalpavriksha, where we are planting trees all across India. So after quitting in 2015, it was around 2017 we registered the organization, and then we've been formally doing that.
So today we learned a lot about how you can plan your financial freedom journey, what happens before that, what goes on after that, and how you can, leverage your passive income to make a little bit of buffers. Two learnings, if I had to find from your conversation with us, is one is definitely you need to have sense of purpose, because as sir pointed out that many of the people who leave the discipline is because they do not have a strong sense of purpose. And second is definitely the behavioral part would outweigh your financial part if you play it right. So that is where you have the power, that is where you have the control, which you can leverage to a lot of your advantage. So thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us.
Inviting me. Thank you so much.
2 words from your side.
Thank you.
Oh, one sentence. Okay.
Journey itself is so beautiful, and the life after that is ultra beautiful.
Thank you so much.